right, so we weren't quite expecting to have to do this, but it's safe to say a producer wasn't quite paying attention.
Really?
And we shot an entire episode, and we had to scrap it because of technical snafus within the focusing of. But it's fine and dandy. We get an opportunity to sit in the comfy chairs this time to do this episode. So this is our Skagit Speedway 4th. You keep making faces at me, so I'm just...
You're good.
Okay. We are doing our Skagit Speedway 4th of July episode, right? The 250th birthday celebration.
Yep.
All right, so we are from the Stands PNW. We are a dirt track racing podcast. We focus on dirt track racing here in the Pacific Northwest. Our two home tracks that we pull from are Skagit Speedway and Deming Speedway. But here is our take on kind of the 4th of July. Now, we're a big believer around here of that every lap does have a story and every fan does have a seat with us. So you're going to want to strap in because this is going to be a good episode. We have an interview that we're inserting in this episode, right, with a member of Big Sexy Motorsports, head of their media, as well as he owns I get it wrong every time, JLW Photography. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Jimmy. I'm the host, and behind the camera is Stacy. She is our producer, social media pontiff. What else? What am I missing?
I don't know. The titles just will keep coming.
She was quite upset to learn that we were going to have to reshoot this episode. So
Yeah.
I was a quarter of the way through editing when I discovered the faux pas. So, but I always try to find a silver lining in what we're doing. We get a chance to sit in the comfy chair today to do a little bit more of a casual kind of sit-down style. If you see us at the track, we're kind of go. We do a lot of like on-the-fly interviews and stuff like that. So it is kind of nice to be able to sit back in a comfy. And do you like? You're on a couch. Do you like it better than sitting at the table with the thing in the thing? Or
I do. And this way I can be directly behind the camera versus it off to the side.
So this is a better setup.
This is better in the sense of I can watch the camera.
And the audio's coming through good.
The
and
audio
everything
is in front of me. So I just don't have a mic stand.
Yeah, you do.
Well,
right there.
I have to have it up here.
Oh, well, you're doing a good job, though.
So it'll go. So, but before we start,
Yes.
what are you wearing today?
Well, we ended up, because I talked about if you are a driver, race team, and you either follow us or talk about us at all, really, word of mouth, and we can verify the word of mouth, I will buy your shirt and we'll wear it during a podcast. And so the first driver that wins that award is Justin Youngquist. I found out because he had talked to Caleb a little bit about us when I did mine, and I apologize. I apologize to Caleb too, but our kind of crappy cell phone interview we did kind of on the fly. But Caleb was like, oh yeah, Justin was talking about you. So living up to my end of the deal, it's a great shirt, by the way. Justin, I don't know if you're like in charge of picking the fabric on this, but this is like one of the softest driver tees I've ever, like, have you ever seen a driver tee this soft?
No, but when I picked it up the other day when I was doing laundry, I was like,
it's super nice.
This is nice. I'm very particular on the quality and the texture of shirts.
Me too.
So that one scores high.
Yeah. So shout out to him. And for us, it's very simple. You talk about anything that has to do with our podcast to one person, and I always feel kind of that's a win. So anybody that passes, what we're doing on word of mouth and everything else, it's been a whirlwind. It's been a crazy almost month since we have announced to the world that we are here, we exist. We've had some ups and downs. We've had way more ups than we've had downs, I think. But before I get into the 4th of July episode, I think I want to clarify a position I had about Dirt Cup hangover.
Okay.
Now, I know the way I talked about Dirt Cup hangover, there might be an assumption that I thought that Dirt Cup hangover was a less than race, and it absolutely was not. I don't want to give the misconception that what we saw with Dirt Cup hangover was not. It was as competitive as it gets. We had 3 classes that weren't there the week before. I've been to tons of shows at Skagit. I don't think I've ever had a show where I thought, man, I wish I had my money back. That was awful. Skagit is always great about putting on like awesome shows, right? So anyway, yeah, so there might be that perception that, well, Dirt Cup hangover was just a sucky race. Absolutely not. It was, the great thing about competition is, especially in the racing world, I've learned is that, people behind the wheel, whether it's a man, woman, whatever, everybody's got an ego and they're competitive. So when you get out on that track, everybody's trying to win. So you automatically get a nice competitive, fervor environment to watch. And to watch the 360s, which, and 360s sportsmen, they don't come through too much anymore. And then, of course, the Hornets are always a good show. So it was a great show. The Dirt Cup hangover was just as now, is it high car count like Dirt Cup? Of course not. Is it as slam packed as Dirt Cup? Of course not. I mean, because Dirt Cup's a huge show, but it definitely is a good show in its own right, and Skagit definitely does a good job about putting on a great show. So, and then that transitions into a great show. We were there for the 4th of July extravaganza. It was America's 250th birthday. Skagit promised that it would be the biggest fireworks show that they've ever done. And what was the result of that?
They delivered.
They delivered. It was not only the most like bangs you hear, but the duration of it.
It was 20 plus minutes.
Yeah, there was a lot to that.
My arm was sore trying to record the whole thing.
Now, they were blowing stuff up left and right. I think the only thing they did not do was go out and light a dynamite stick and throw it out. I think they activated every type of firework that probably is in existence today. It was a great, great fireworks show.
And the neighbors during the whole race was letting off fireworks and blowing up things.
Yeah, there was a little premature explosionation happening in the parking lot area and whatnot. But you had, what did we have for the 4th of July? The 410s were back, right? 410 modified.
And Hornets.
Hornets, yeah. So, are you sure you want to double check that?
Nope,
You
I'm
look
positive.
Confused. Okay.
Modified 410s and Hornets.
So, and of course, 3 separate classes in how the cars run, how quick they are, the characteristics of a race. Between those 3, they're all different, right? So, but it was a great show. You always have your top runners, 410s, right? You've got, obviously, your top guys, Robbie Price, Justin Youngquist, as always.
Levi
Hillier, and we're going to be talking paint schemes and pole position today, right? But yeah, so let's get into our cushion report, right? So
Yep.
We were, like we just said, we were at Skagit for the 4th of July extravaganza. Since then, we're filming Skagit now. We're obviously a few days late. We do apologize. It probably should have been out.
We were busy.
It's been a rough. We're a 2-person operation, so. But we just came back from the Dave Key Classic, right?
Yep, out of Deming.
First annual,
Yes.
right?
That interview will be coming, or that episode.
Yep. That episode is in the works, but that is where we just returned from We did not attend the Hall of Fame night at Skagit. We kind of took a break because we had to film episodes, which one we ended up dumping because of the technical snafu. And then coming up, we have Clay Cup.
3 days.
Yeah, this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So it's July 16th, 17th, and 18th, right?
That's correct.
And then as far as the Skagit Speedway calendar goes, coming up at the end of July is the Fred Brownfield 360 Nationals.
Yep, kickoff parties on the 23rd and 24th, 25th is the races.
And then we have the Monster Truck Show in the beginning of August. I think it's August 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
I've never been to a Monster Truck Show.
I was looking at pictures. They destroyed that track.
Do they? I don't know if I want to see that because the track's beautiful. Like,
they were like mounding up dirt.
Okay.
And I was like,
and that's in the middle of everything happening too.
yeah, I would think the last race put it as monster
But
trucks.
it just goes to show you what the track, everybody at Skagit, what they do, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the track people good at what because you can't have one come in like that and boom. And then, of course, Labor Day weekend is the high limit activities. So, yes. So that is our Cushion report. That is kind of what we're up to. We will be at Deming for the 3 days. We have interviews set up for that. So I think now is a great time. So we're going to be showing an interview that we did, right?
Yeah.
Is now the time?
Now would be the time.
Now's the time. So we sat down with Jordan. Jordan is the owner of JLW Photography. He is also on the crew of the number 71 modified from Adam. Adam Haltrop owns Big Sexy Motorsports. Jordan is a member of his crew, but also takes care of their social media. And he's part of the media crew that runs between Grays Harbor, Deming, and Skagit Speedway. But anyway, I got the chance to sit down and talk to Jordan. So here is that interview. All right, so we are on location. This is from the stands, P&W. You could probably guess if you see the background, race cars behind us, but we are at the race shop of Big Sexy Motorsports out in Bow. This is Bow, right? Still? Alger Bow? Alger Bow. So we have a couple interviews set up, and I'm excited for this first one because it's probably the most fascinating interview I've given to this point. You probably recognize or have seen this gentleman running around either Deming, Skagit, or Grays Harbor Raceway. And you might not know his name or what he exactly is doing at the track, but for the folks at home, why don't you introduce yourself? Give us, because your job is unique, because it's like dual. So talk about where you work, who you work for, and that whole thing.
Okay. I'm Jordan. I'm the owner of JLW Photography, and I'm the photographer and media marketing manager for Big Sexy Motorsports.
So, but you also turn a wrench too, right?
I
For
do.
Adam and his team. And I think that's the most, when Stacy told me that we were going to talk about you being a photographer as well as being a crew member, I thought this is like the most dynamic, I think, job I've heard of so far in racing.
It's fun.
So let me ask, like, crew-wise, like wrench turning, what do you do for the team specifically?
So last year I was only allowed to do tires because that's where everyone starts.
Okay.
And then this year I've done a lot of body work and just fixing stuff, and I recently just started doing axles and changing gears.
So are you doing photography work every week for the team, right?
Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
that's an every weekend kind of situation?
Yeah.
At what point do you put the wrench down, or is there a point you put the wrench down and go into photography?
Right after the pit meeting.
Oh, really? So literally right when that's done, it's a change of hat and there you go.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when we were talking with Adam about once the driver meeting over, that nice guy is like over, and
It's time to get to
yeah.
work.
What do you like? Do you prefer being a crew member or photographer? I know that might be
That's
hard, but
I like doing both.
okay.
I think it's a good mix, especially like I get to the track and I help set up and get everything where it needs to be, and then
Plus, it's so different too, right?
100%.
Yeah, like that's cool because you're getting all kinds of experience at the track.
Yeah, it feels weird going when he's not there, and I just go straight to doing photos.
Sure, yeah.
Instead of like
I could
working on the car
imagine.
and then going and doing photos.
I could imagine. Well, I'm curious. So I'm looking at my note. I know I said that I wing this, but not for this interview because I got some specifics I really want to know with this. So we talked about being an unusual combo. When did you start doing, like, what came first, the mechanic or the photography?
I
And what-
actually started racing first.
Oh, really?
I raced a Hornet for a year,
Okay.
and then was an idiot and rolled it. So then I quit doing that because my dad did the same thing when he
Yeah,
was
but
younger.
you're one of the few people that probably have rolled a Hornet, right? I don't think I've ever seen one.
There's a good amount of people
Really?
who roll the Hornet.
Wow.
I think Adam might be one of those few people
Rolled a Hornet.
that has rolled the Hornet.
So that was last year, you said, right?
I started racing in 2023.
2020. Okay.
And then after that, I started working for Adam in 2024.
Mhm.
I started just doing photos in the pits. And then
For the team.
yeah, just for the team. I didn't
Mhm.
work for anyone else. It was just strictly for him.
Sure.
And then I applied with the track and got hired by not hired, but started working for the.
They gave you your
track.
media
Yeah,
pass.
they give me all
and
the media
you-
pass
yeah,
and stuff to do
you
that.
go down and.
So then I can do photos and work on the car.
What's harder though, working on the car or
Working on the car is a lot harder.
than doing the
Because
photos?
if you screw up early in the night, it messes everything up.
I can imagine it's probably way more pressure filled, right?
100%.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember the first race that you photographed? Do you
I
remember what
do.
that was?
I think it was Adam's topless night when we take the roofs off the modifieds.
Okay, I was hoping it
And-
wasn't. He went shirtless. For,
I honestly don't know with him sometimes.
yeah. Well,
But-
you sometimes wonder, right?
Sometimes I do wonder. But I think that was the first night I like fully was into it,
Mhm.
and I wasn't even really interested in working on the cars at that point.
Sure.
So I was kind of just taking photos. I like being at the racetrack and I like taking photos, and I was like, let's just do both.
So do you find yourself getting absorbed, like when you're looking through the photo lens, just being caught up in what's happening in front of you, like through the lens, rather than what's going on around you?
Yeah, like I'll
Yeah.
follow a car through the whole corner just because I know that car can hold its line really well and just look really good racing other people.
So do you like more the cars going through the corner? Do you enjoy more like when it's victory lane kind of photo? Like what do you prefer? Probably the corner stuff,
a
right?
corner because that's where a lot of people like to pass. I mean, there's passing on the front stretch, but it doesn't look as good. Like slide jobs are absolutely
yeah.
great to get photos of, and
And if people don't understand dirt track racing, I know if you look up, like you just say the word slide job, people kind of look at you funny, but you look it up, it is some crazy, I think that is the mark for dirt track racing. Both, I mean, I don't care what modified class you're running, late model, sprint car, the slide job is the ultimate.
It's the ultimate passing
it's crazy.
especially if you can stick it.
Because a lot of it's pray, like just slide and pray, right?
Kind of. I mean, you got to find grip.
Sure.
With these cars especially, there's a lot of like setup and grip that goes into it. So
Sure.
are we going to slide up and the top's going to have grip for the car to hook and just take away, or is it we're going to slide up and it's not going to catch grip and we're going to get past again?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty awesome. What is the hardest like shot to get at Skagit? Have you noticed?
410 sprint cars,
Like what part of it though is the?
just entering and exiting corners.
Oh yeah.
Because they're entering so quick, and when they exit, that's when they're catching a lot of grip and just going.
What's your favorite to like photograph though?
Entering the corners. That's when sprint cars have attitude.
But what class though do you prefer?
410s.
410s, yeah. So that's kind of that trick, right? Where you have a quick, small amount of time to be able to get the picture.
Yeah.
Because they're in and out so damn quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially like entering turn 3 and 4 at Skagit. Their car's just entering the corner. It's just a lot of attitude, and it looks really good if you can get the sun behind it too.
Sure. Now you also take photos up at Deming as well,
I
right?
have.
Yeah.
It's off and on throughout the year.
When was the last time you were at Deming doing photos?
I think it was like last month. I was working for the Cook family.
Mm-hmm.
Hayden Cook. She drives the number 17.
Sure.
Working for them is fun too, because I've always just liked working for them, and they're super
Sure.
polite and super nice.
So how is the difference shooting at Deming than to Skagit?
Their cars are just so much bigger.
Yeah.
Skagit.
Yeah.
Deming, they're so much smaller, and I feel like they have a lot more speed.
It's
some
it's
points.
almost like it's just as difficult. I find that it's a different kind of difficult, but
Yeah.
it's just as hard.
I
you
actually
know?
find midgets easier to shoot at Deming than I do Skagit.
Really, wow.
I've gone
Well,
to
because they're
both.
wide open at Skagit, right? Like,
Yeah.
it almost now, as for the untrained eye like myself, it almost seems like the Northwest focus, they're a little bit too big for Deming, but they're quite not big enough for Skagit.
I
Is
think they're
that
perfect for Deming. I think they're
Really?
a little too big for Skagit, a little too small, like
Yeah.
horsepower-wise for Skagit. But, I mean, they threw a good show either way.
Sure. No, I get it. So outside of the track, what do you like? I mean, obviously you got to have hobbies and things of that nature, unless Adam's a slave driver and working you constantly. But as he's giggling in the background, I don't think that's happening. So what do you like to do when you're not working?
I like to go walk my dog
Okay.
and just hang out with my family as
What's
much
your
as I
dog's
can.
name?
Dog's name's Lily.
What kind of dog do you
She's a
have?
white lab.
Okay. Well, people are going to love that because racetrack community, they love their animals, especially their
100%.
dogs, though, right? Yeah.
Adam would have a dog if he could have one.
Would you have a dog, Adam? If bulldog. Well, oof.
Big fat bulldog.
The big sexy bulldog. I could see that. The BSB baby. All right. So, as a crew member, what's your favorite memory? Like as a member, just wrench turner. What's your favorite when you close your eyes and brings a smile to your face? Have you had one yet?
Our
I don't
camping
know.
trips. Our 2-day, 3-day shows.
Love those.
They're just so much fun. We're spending time together, playing cards, just having
It's got
a
a
good
family
time.
atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean this isn't just a race team; it's a family too.
Sure.
So when we go to like our 2-day shows, especially out of town 2-day shows, it's so much fun. We just
Sure.
sit there, we eat, we play cards. You know, we talk about if you can improve the car or not, and just everything.
And everybody
night.
gets along. And
Everyone gets along.
That's awesome. I love that. As a photographer, what is your favorite moment? Do you have one?
I was gonna say last year when Rico swept high limit at Skagit.
You were down there for that?
I was down there for that, and that was amazing to watch and just be a part of.
Yeah, he's definitely next level though, right? Like watching him, yeah.
And he's super nice too.
Oh, he's a good dude. Yeah, would love to have him on the show if he ever, sticks around long enough because he's busy. He's
Always.
super busy. So here's a two-parter for you, and I'm curious. So if you had an opportunity anywhere in the country to be a crew member, could be any class of race, it could be NASCAR, F1, working with a modified anywhere, what would be a dream job for you?
I would have to say a modified, and I don't know who, because there's so many good like modified teams. But I would say Kenny Wallace is probably a really good one. He's a really good choice.
That'd be a personality and a half, right?
He's so funny.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. And what about as a photographer? What would be the ultimate race that you would want to be there to photograph?
The Dream at Eldora.
Eldora? Nice. I love that. Would you be more the corner, or would you, because Victory Lane celebrations at Eldora are pretty special.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's kind of hard to, would it be hard to choose between the two?
I think it would.
Yeah.
Because the
Okay.
front straightaway, when it comes to the checkered flag, you never know who's really going to win.
Sure.
Because they have some really good racing over there.
So, well, I appreciate you taking the time out to do all this. I know that you guys are busy because you guys have a race coming up. You guys leave tomorrow, right? What?
We leave Saturday morning to go practice at Elma
Uh-huh.
just to get a good feel. And then we have our modified nationals next weekend.
Yeah, so you guys will be there all week.
Yeah, pretty
What
much.
is it? Have you been there doing this before? What
Yeah.
does your guys' schedule look like when you go to do that?
Pretty-
Like you as a crew member and also as a photographer, what?
Get to the track, unload the car, especially on Saturdays.
Mhm.
So we unload everything, get everything ready for when our crew chief gets to the track. He can just find what he needs to find and just start working right
Sure,
away.
sure.
If he needs to make a change, he'll just do it right there and get
Mhm.
everything done. And then if we're not staying the night, pack up the car and just head straight home.
Okay.
So I think that's what we're doing this weekend, and then we'll be back down there Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
Just to, everyone will get to chill out, hang out before a big race.
So I'm curious on the days that you guys go down and then you do come back, are you just crew member only hat, or are you taking photos as well?
I'm doing photos as well.
Okay.
So I do same thing at Skagit. After the pit meeting, it's straight photography and media and doing and keeping the fans posted, because not everyone can make it to the racetrack.
Sure.
Especially like if we're up here and we go down there. Not everyone can follow.
Yeah. So before I get into our viewer, because there was a cool viewer question that they had for you, but I'm curious if you had any race of the past that you could photograph. It could be any race, any NASCAR, IndyCar, whatever. Would there be like a dream that if you could go back in time that you would love to photograph?
That's a really good question.
I thought so.
I'd have to say any of the dome races.
Like the Chili Bowl?
No, it's the Gateway Dirt Nationals.
Oh, okay.
At the Dome. I think any of those races, if I was just able to do at least one of them, it'd be something that I would never forget.
Sure. So our viewer question was kind of curious because we had the same viewer question that had actually asked a question for Adam, but also had the same question for you. They were fascinated by the dynamic of you being a crew member and also picking up the camera and doing that. But one of the things that a lot of fans have a problem getting is seeing photos and seeing they don't know quite outside of like racetrack websites where to go. Our fan Dave, who was curious, wanted to know where can he see Big Sexy Motorsports, in particular the photos that you're doing, where can those be seen at?
We post 1 or 2 at least a week just to give fans updates. So the Big Sexy Motorsports on Facebook, Big Sexy Motorsports on TikTok and Instagram as well.
Okay.
And we post weekly on those just to keep everyone updated on what's going on.
And then are you keeping fans updated on social media when you guys are traveling and are at
Yes.
Skagit and all of that?
Uh-huh.
Are you posting pictures and stuff too with the social media? So,
Yeah, I post a picture with every single post.
So anybody who's looking to get updates while they're running, they do them while they're doing it. And it's this man here that's taking the photos and posting them up. So I want to thank you for taking time out for us and kind of helping set this interview up today. I have to admit, I'm loving being here to do this. So I wanted to thank you for, because, most people don't know us from Adam, us being new in the game, and for somebody to be like, yeah, come on down and have a talk with us, I thought was awesome. And I'll forever be grateful. So thank you. I appreciate it.
I have to
Okay,
All right, so we're rolling. We're back.
we are back.
All right, so that was our interview with Jordan. So here's some takeaways from Jordan. And I'm wearing my Metas, so I'm going to hit the record button. So I'm going to record 3 minutes so you get a chance to see what I am seeing when I shoot the episode. So everybody at home is going to be seeing Stacy make it, and there's one face, there's another. So inside of 10 seconds, she just made 4 different faces. You get to see why sometimes shooting this is difficult. 5. There we go. All right. So here's my takeaway from Jordan. So one of the best parts about doing this job is meeting certain people that you don't expect to meet, right? You're going to, everybody, like, people want to talk to you, and sometimes they don't want to talk to you in the best set of circumstances. They want to dish dirt, right? Use a platform to kind of, but you do come across times where you meet somebody that is pretty cool, right? And a good individual. And Jordan is definitely one of those guys. I think anybody that comes across him at the track or you see him working in the pits, he's a guy I want in my foxhole, hands freaking down. One of the things that you learn, and you see him, we had the opportunity when we spent time at Big Sexy Motorsports, right? Mm-hmm. We got a chance to see how he interacted with the crew and like what his relationship is like with Adam and some of the others. And he takes a lot of crap. I mean,
Definitely a lot of crap.
He takes a lot of crap. But you could tell they love that kid. And you could tell that Jordan will do whatever he needs to do for the team. And it's a great working relationship, and it's fun to see.
He's definitely part of that family.
Absolutely, 1,000,000%. So he's definitely one that would be in my foxhole for sure. I even told that to him. We saw him Friday at Deming and was like, man, if there's an apocalypse, you're in my foxhole. You like 10 times out of 10 and twice on Sunday, because he'll just get it done. And he loves people, and that's the best part. Plus, he has such a hard job. And people don't understand, right? To get a media pass and to do what he does, taking photos, it is not easy. And he is super good at his job. His photos are superior in quality. He knows the right angles to take. It's an amazing just to watch. And he's done that all himself. I mean, he owns that company and busts his butt to get it done. And he does a really great job. So they're lucky to have him. Stacy's looking super nervous about Meta's back at her, because she insisted if we were doing this podcast thing that it was her not on the camera at all.
Yep.
So
Jimmy threw out earlier today, well, maybe you should do some interviews.
I did say that.
I'm not one to be in front of the camera.
All right, so don't worry. Meta's stopped.
They stopped recording.
Stopped
Thank
recording,
God.
so that'll be it. Anyway, so yeah, the interview with Jordan was awesome. We just put up the interview with Adam Haltrop. I did. It was about 45 minutes-ish long. God, such a great dude, too. And I can go in for an hour on that. But that's our interview. So we're starting to kind of get the interview thing down. Mm-hmm. We're starting to figure out where we're going to be placing it and how that's going to work, right?
Yeah.
And Jordan, because he's not a driver necessarily, even though he is a member of the crew, that is our kind of segment that is beyond the backstretch. When we do a driver, it's kind of our driver meeting, or right? Isn't that how we do it? And then when we talk to a crew member, anything like that, it is the beyond the backstretch interview. So, yeah, that is that part of it.
I was just going to say something and I lost my train of thought.
Probably because you were too worried about laying back and then sitting forward
The
and
sun
laying
was in
back
my
and
face.
sitting forward. So
I don't know.
So let's get into our pole position next.
Oh, I was going to say before we did that.
Yes.
If you would like to be featured,
Me?
anybody,
Oh.
on our podcast, and especially in the Pacific Northwest, we're going to start there.
It's a good place to start.
Please reach out. In the winter, we might be able to give us a little bit of time to figure out how to do a video interview that could be coming.
Yeah.
So we can get some different drivers or fans or perspectives across.
Yeah, I
US.
mean, it's fine and dandy when you're ripping and roaring in the middle of a race season, but when there's content that's harder to kind of scrape together on a weekly basis is, how are you going to put a podcast together? But the awesome part is there's racing that goes on all over the country through most parts of the year, I think. We're going to find out anyway. So, anyway.
But yeah, our calendar is open. We're starting to kind of get things kind of filled up here and there.
But we're not super.
Nope.
We have some filled up, but we're not super open.
We're going a week at a time right now.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we are, if you would like to be featured.
As much as I would love to think about the Fred Brownfield 360 Nationals, it's still like not on because we got Clay Cup
and then that.
Yeah, it's like, because the 360 show, we've been to it before. And this is the last year it's going to be the Fred Brownfield 360 Nationals. And it's going to be strange to not hear it referred to. It's like, for me, too, it's weird to hear it not referred to as Thunder in the Valley. It used to be called that. The Fred Brownfield 360, yeah. And so this will be the last year that it'll be the Fred Brownfield, which sucks because he's been a legend for, our local racing community in particular for a long time. But, yeah, anyway. All right.
Pole positions.
All right, so when we come back, we are going to do pole position. Our pole position this week is best paint schemes at Skagit, because we did Deming last week. And we're going to include modifieds and sprints within that
The list.
evaluation,
Yep.
right? So when we come back, pole position, paint schemes at Skagit coming up next.
Okay, we are back.
All right, so we are in our pole position, and let's just talk a little bit about why we call it pole position. Like somebody might think that's kind of weird, but when a pole position, like anytime you're qualifying, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're ranked 1 through whatever, however many racers there are. So our pole position is kind of the same philosophy. We're going to talk about stuff that you rank.
Yes.
And it just seemed like a neat name for it. Some people might think it's dumb. I don't know, but that's why we call it. It's our ranking segment. We might not always rank cars. We'll rank food. We'll rank whatever we can. We'll maybe do a poll, instead of ranking. If people get tired of, from the stands ranking constantly. And
Maybe this is a place that we can add some viewer comments and
or how about
reviews.
Jimmy just ranting and raving?
Yeah.
I think it's a great time for
And
that.
at some point, it would be kind of fun to get some other people's opinions on what ranks.
It would be. I would love to have all these wonderful chairs that we have filled with folks to talk about. Did you just turn it off?
No.
Because you don't want to hear what I have to say next?
Nope.
Okay, because it looked like you turned it off.
We have 4 mic plugs and 4 chairs.
Well, you just said you hated carrying around more than one mic, though. Did you just say that?
The bag got heavy tonight.
Okay. All right, so pole position. So we're doing paint seams at Skagit from the 4th of July run.
Yes. Modifieds and 410s.
Combined.
Yes.
It's unfair because you would never put them in a race against one another, but we're going to humor
Ooh.
Stacy's thinking. And
Could you?
Dude, the 410s would destroy. But the problem is a modified would just kind of get their butt out a little bit and just kind of
just
hip check them a little and
slide jobs
Yeah.
around the corner.
yeah. 410s slide hard. You heard Adam's. Did you see Adam's interview?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
I did.
He talked about how hard it is driving that car.
Yes.
Yeah, so
A little harder than
Yeah.
a 410.
a little bit.
So, just like in my list, I'm going to sandwich the 410s between some modifieds.
Okay.
So, starting at number 5, I'm going to
Yes.
start with the modified. It is Steve Peters V8 Camo,
Yep.
which is such a
Central
random...
Welding Supply being a major sponsor, right?
Yes. Such a random car to put on my color scheme because I'm not a camo type person.
I'm not either, but it does work.
It works.
I don't hate that one, but it's not my number 5.
Okay.
So
What's your number 5?
I have a number 5, but my number 5 could also be my kind of honorable mentions because there's like 3 that fit within that. Man, I would love for you to have Metas on to see what I was just watching her trying to get comfortable on the couch is. Yeah. So I'm going to call it number 5, and then we'll do honorable mentions. But every time I see this car at the track, reminds me of my childhood. You're getting your steps in with just the sit-up, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get comfortable.
So the number 5 Quaker State Cole drives the number 5 Quaker State. It reminds me of Steve Kinser's car because of the Quaker State sponsorship. Cole's car is always black.
410?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know another Quaker State car?
No, but I was
Skagit, or-
trying to picture it.
It's black with the 5, has a big Q
Okay.
for Quaker State.
And I'm helping our viewers that are listening
Black, and then
on
Quaker State is
Spotify
like green.
and not watching.
I even think the Q's maybe even gold.
So I was
Okay.
just helping our Spotify listeners.
But when I see that, I always think of Steve Kinser. Love to see the Quaker State. I like when they have the traditional like CarQuest, Quaker State, Pennzoil, the
Your traditional
Yeah,
old school racing
I
sponsors.
love that. When I see that, it tugs at my heartstrings a little bit. So Cole gets my number 5.
Okay. My number...
And yes, I have a book in my old man spectacles because when you get to a certain age, you need these to see.
My number 4 is the number 1. And I think it might be 1C. It is the white, orange, and black 410 driven by Colton Heath.
Ah, yes. Yes. They usually run 2 cars looking the same that he drives at Skagit. It is a great paint scheme. It's not on my list. And just because your car is not on my list doesn't mean I don't like it. Because you see 1 or 2, like I'm not going to lie, that you go, ooh, yeah, I don't know if that was a good idea. That kind of fell flat. But most of the paint schemes are outstanding. So, yeah.
It's the paint schemes that I think have to separate themselves. And you're like, oh, I can remember that car.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm going with.
Okay, so I have my number 4. So my number 4 is the first modified on the list for me.
Okay.
And that is the number white 81. It is Lane has his number 81. So he was fat. Like in the main, watching him kick around that track, he had that car locked in on the 4th of July. It was fun to watch. Got my attention. But I like the white. The white sometimes works with paint scheme, especially with how your kind of other like minor sponsor stickers are. It just all works. So he's on my number 4 list because it is white, kind of had that traditional look, and it played itself out. Plus, it's a great car, and he's a good driver. So,
Okay. My number 3 is black and orange. Primarily black. A little bit of orange. I verified. There was no purple. It's some silver around it. It is the number 55 Trey Starks.
and I'm shocked because you love Trey Starks. You think he is one of the top dudes at Skagit. You bought one of your first like Skagit driver sweatshirts was a Trey Starks sweatshirt. Yes, I am surprised. I thought you were going to give him number 1, to be honest with you.
It's not dynamic enough. I don't know. The black cars are just kind of there.
So
for me.
when the episode that we scrapped talked about this in the beginning, right, where of course nobody got to see it because we had to scrap it, but I made mention that back in the day you usually picked the loudest car, and that was usually the car that did the best.
The loudest colors? Okay.
I don't think you can go a loudest exhaust system because they're all loud. But it was usually the wildest. Paint scheme was the, hey, look at me in the car, and that would be usually the top driver 20 years ago. And now Trey doesn't need to do the, hey, look at me, because he is kicking everybody's butt right now. So
all you just see is this black
just 55 blur
going around the track.
So I got in an argument with somebody not too long ago about I was professing.
Probably me.
Well, no, because I was professing Trey's ability to drive, and somebody made a comment. I was on a live, I think, and said, well, he drives a Skagit all the time, so of course he's going to win that. I was like, well, wait a minute. He owns a track record in a 360 at Grays Harbor. How do you have track record? Yes, he is defending 360 and 410 champion, but how do you set a track record in another track that you don't race probably as frequently as you do at Skagit, right? Like, he's elsewhere. He races there quite a bit. He races another. He's not just good because he races at Skagit. He is quick time and set record just to prove that fact.
I would love to ask him what his favorite track is.
No, me too. I would be curious to know because he's from Puyallup, I think.
Yeah,
but
that area.
Skagit, I would say, probably is his home track.
I
I mean, I've seen him rate every time, it was either 410 or 360s here. So,
I would definitely say
but
it's
he's
his home track.
at Grays Harbor quite a bit, and I'm assuming he travels elsewhere to run. I mean, he would have to, being as good as he is. So, anyway, yeah. So I was surprised that that was your number 3.
What's your number 3?
So I'm going to go with the modified again.
Okay.
And mine is, I gave you the hint that it was plasma and you didn't quite get it. And
Oh, that's
you're
right.
like, I don't know.
It took me a while the other night.
You started crying, and then you curled up in a fetal position.
Tyson Blood.
And it was like, and I said, Tyson Blood. He's got a legit thing going on with his car. It is not as electric as my number 1. And I just maybe gave away what my number 1 is, but it's damn close. So Tyson Blood is in that spot for me.
My number 2 is another 410. It is neon orange with some gray on it, based off of my just notes. It is a number 10 of Tyler Thompson.
Oh, that's a good one to do. Yeah.
A little standout-ish, some bright colors.
Yeah, it's, conservative, yet here I am, look at me kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my next one kind of gets a group. Like my number 2, it gets a group.
Okay.
Because there's when I look at cars at Skagit, there's about 3 or so that I see that they all kind of remind me of the same with their color scheme. They give me the same feeling, even though the color scheme's vastly different. They make me feel the same. Okay. So Trey Starks is in that one for me, right? The other one that's in there is Justin Youngquist, where it's not loud, but it's effective enough, kind of like Trey's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Levi is the same way, right? His blue and white, it's a very chic. It's not loud, but it's like just a classic. Right.
Yeah,
and same with
it's branded well.
And same with the black and the, like seeing the Cascade Pizza logo, because the Cascade Pizza logo on Justin's car is the loudest part of his car, I think.
But with Levi and the Rudine racing team, they are branded across the board, all those cars.
The same.
The same. At Dimming, I have to go, okay, 24 is what I think what he drives at Dimming.
24, yeah.
And then I have to look for the little L, because there's another 24 with an S. And then there's Amelia's 26.
And then there's another.
And then there's another one. So it's like you have to really look closely at the letters to figure out who's driving, because they are exactly the same.
But another one that is in that category for me is Robbie Price's car.
Okay.
You see it's subdued. It's not crazy
Yeah.
color-wise.
Just black and yellow?
But it's powerful. Like you see Trey, you see Justin, you see Levi, and then you see this car, right? Robbie's. They're all they remind me of quiet confidence, I guess is a good way to put it. Where
I like that.
It's not a lot of look at me.
Yeah.
But it's subtle enough to go, I'm subtle for a reason. Watch out when we hit the track. And all those guys drive that way.
That's a really good way of putting that.
So
Subtle confidence. I like that.
It's quiet confidence, what it reminds me of. So that's why they get that moniker with me, because I look at them and it's just like, yeah, if I was a driver and was not from the area and you see that, you go, yeah, there's something there. Because he's deliberately not trying to draw attention to his. Are you having a stroke? What? Wow, she looked like she was ready to
I felt a cough coming on.
go into convulsions.
I was trying between a cough and a yawn.
I have my cell phone somewhere around here. I can call 911 if we need be. So, all right. So that's why my quiet confidence cars.
Okay. So,
But before we do number ones, I want to talk about my last honorable mention. Reminds me of my childhood.
Okay.
And that is the number 6060 Tanner Home. The 66. 66. I think it's the 66R. It's got that red, black. And the reason that reminds me of my childhood is it reminds me of what Bobby Burrows' car used to be like when he drove. You've heard of Bobby Burrow. You've heard a lot about Bobby Burrow lately.
I have.
Not ever seeing him run, but he was a great back in the day, fearless as hell. But his car reminded me of that. And Bobby Burrow would be in that quiet confidence category when he was a driver, you know, not the, hey, look at me. So, yeah.
Okay.
And I promise, now that we're getting to our number ones, I promise we did not, and I know nobody's going to believe this, but we did not consult this before. When we do our lists, we don't talk to each other about our lists. I already know what our number one is because we've already filmed this episode that we had to scrap. So it's not as it was the last time, but
yeah,
the number one for me, and has been for a couple years, the bright pink Big Sexy Motorsports number 71 modified, driven by Adam Haltrop. He is, when you see that car hit the track, you just go, wow.
And it's sometimes you can lose track of cars during, especially the main events.
When you got 15 or 20
You can
cars
start
that
to
are
lose
whipping
track
around,
of,
yeah.
like, especially who's in first when they start to like kind of lap and kind of get back into the mix of everybody else.
Yep.
But on Adams, he just stands out. And it's the attention to detail of the pink hubcaps. And I think every car that comes out of Big Sexy Motorsports has matching hubcaps.
Were you really going to call it Big Motorsports Sexy?
Yes, I was going to. But I believe that every car that comes out of there has matching hubcaps.
See, but it is that attention to detail where when you see a team do that, you go, it's either they're going to thud because they suck, or they're doing it because they're branded and they're going to do well.
Because in the 47 car, that purple and neon yellow had hubcaps that matched as well.
Oh, there you go. So those are our number ones for our pole position. Yeah, that was quite interesting. So Skagit's always good with paint schemes. So is Deming. Like,
I think any track we could probably say that.
Here's the thing that I've noticed, though, and I'm going to say this too. So 20 years ago, you could tell rich teams from poor teams 20 years ago. There are teams like Bobby Burrow when he was at the top of his game, or when my epiphany moment driver was at the top of his game. You saw those cars and how well put together they were, and then you see these beaters that show up. They have mismatching wings and front wings, and they're beat to crap, and they're ugly.
Spray can,
it's awful. You could tell the rich teams from the poor teams. You can't tell that anymore.
No.
There is no like car that I've seen at Skagit in the last couple of years where you go, God damn, that guy is really piecing it together one Frankenstein at a time, right? Like, everybody looks professional, you know, and it's crazy because 20 years ago it wasn't that way. So, yeah, they all look great. The point of that is they all look great. So,
okay, if you had to pick a color scheme, what would yours be?
I am drawn to. There's two different types that I'm drawn to, but I think if I were to pick a scheme for a modified Sprint or even a Hornet, it would probably be black and orange.
Okay.
That bright orange electric. We see a couple of bright oranges at Deming, especially.
Yeah.
That look really, really good. By the way, that all orange that we saw recently is like number 10 or something. Is one of my new favorites. But that would be the
your scheme?
I think the scheme I would pick would be black and bright electric orange. What about you?
I would go white body versus black.
Yeah.
And then I would go teal and pink.
You know what I think I would do is I would reverse it, though. You know, a lot of them do black and then the orange is an accent. I would do the main be electric orange,
The orange
and
body.
the black would be accent, just to mess with people a little bit. But yeah, I get the white, traditional, conservative, quiet confidence. You want to be in that quiet confidence group.
I do not like to be the center of attention.
Well, I don't know. See, I kind of enjoy the, hey, look at me.
You will know that once you start to meet us a little bit more and see us around the track.
No, I don't know. You're pretty outgoing when you're kicking around there.
We'll see.
Anyway. All right, so pole position's over. We'll move on to our trackside chat. We have a couple that we're going to do today, but this I want to talk what?
Let's take a short break for
All
a
right.
second.
All right,
and
so
then
our
we'll come
producer
back.
says we're going to take a short break. So when we return, we're going to have a trackside chat. We have a couple plus a story plus a kudos shout out at the end. So
Okay.
all right.
And we're back.
All right. So we were at Skagit on 4th of July. And the section we sit in, so because I'm disabled, I have mobility issues, we sit in the disabled section. And Stacy helps me quite a bit when it comes to that, right? Like concession runs and, carrying heavier stuff, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we sit up with our lawn chairs because it's easier for Jimmy to get up and down in our lawn chair.
And we're kind of hunkered down at the track, kind of where the medical team hangs out.
In front of the bathrooms.
In front of the bathrooms. And the bathroom is not strategic. The one strong part of my body is my bladder. Everything else is going. But,
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, but my bladder is
Wow.
A-okay working. But I'm sitting there. We're enjoying the show as always. And
It was a packed house on top of it.
And it was. Kudos to Skagit. It was a packed house for fireworks. And nobody left.
No.
But everybody was there. And I get excited because we need more people to go to the races on weekly shows, not just the big shows.
100%.
And people showed up for the races, not just the fireworks. And they stayed for the races and stayed through the fireworks. And that was cool to see.
And if you're local, 4th of July around here, but if you're not local, 4th of July, you have the parade in Cedroli. You have, it's part of the logging rodeo, I believe. You have the rodeo out there. You have the races. Plus, you have normal family things and probably invites everywhere. You have tons of options to choose.
Yeah, but if you're looking for pure fireworks, Skagit is the best place to go for the 4th of July and has been for years.
So people definitely are not going to skip out.
Yes.
Normally, if it's not on a Saturday, they just do the fireworks Saturday, right?
Well, how it used to be, and I don't know when exactly it changed, but Skagit, bless their hearts, would open the gates up for people to come in and watch fireworks.
Oh, okay.
So once the races were over, the gates would open and they would let fans come in without paying and they would watch the fireworks. I don't know at what point that changed, but it kind of changed around, I would imagine, around the time the fireworks started getting bigger. But even back then, people would come to Skagit just to see the fireworks because despite a city putting on a fireworks show, or Big Lake used to be big with fireworks, Skagit was still the best show. And that's why they would do that.
But I think my point was the 4th fell on Saturday.
Which is rare.
Which is rare. But if it was on the 5th, was a Saturday, they would still do their fireworks.
Fireworks would be.
Okay.
So you would get double dosage. Whatever the day closest, that Saturday, the closest the 4th was, you would get a fireworks display.
So for it falling on the 4th on a race day with everything else you could choose from, people still came out.
Yeah, and it was a huge crowd, and kudos to them for that. It was exciting to see. But we're sitting there, and fans kind of parted, like the Red Sea parted for, was it Moses? I'm not super up on my Bible stuff lately, but the Red Sea parted, and I see a T-shirt, and I went, woo! I don't know if I did, ooh, but I did that. And was like, "Are you seeing this?" And she's like, "What? What? I don't know what's happening. I can't hear." And I was like, "You see that shirt?"
It was a graphic tee with a race car on the back.
Car on the back, but the name, and everybody know Iceman. No, not Silver Surfer, not Fantastic Four. Tom Wagner, the number 15. Loved his car as a kid. I think my childhood, in like my early adulthood, my childhood was Jerry Edson in the 76, the Deal Ford sprint car, but the yellow number 15, Tom Wagner, Tom the Iceman Wagner. I saw them wearing that shirt. I almost jacked it, and it might have been Tom that was wearing it. I don't know. Still yet to know. We took a picture of the shirt. I think,
yes.
right?
Yes, it will be inserted.
And I'm going to insert it in so you can see what I'm talking about. And I also found a picture of his number 15 that was at the Cascade Mall at one point. But Tom Iceman Wagner shirt, I got so excited over that. Made my night. Almost, I've never committed a rolling robbery on anybody. I almost considered taking his shirt and running. Well, for me, it'd be hobbling out the door. But it was great to see. I was excited to see that. So that was a cool moment. Anyway, I had to share that because I'm hoping at some point I can find a Tom Wagner shirt. Like there's a backstock somewhere that somebody has a 2X or something sitting around and they don't mind
some old merch trailer
selling it to me. I would love to get a hold of a Tom Wagner. Tom Wagner was the kind of, like, you don't see drivers today ride the cushion high, right? Usually people are middle and lower kind of. Tom was the kind of driver that he would ride the cushion that was the high part of the cushion, but it was so rough he would either break his suspension or wreck his car or he would win. I can't tell you the countless times he's blowing by people in A-mains and whatnot. But yeah, it was great to see. So anyway, that was that. So I kind of forgot what our other trackside chat stuff was. I don't remember now.
We had a question.
Yes.
And the question had to do with,
I remember it was a great question too because I had to think about it.
Do you think that color schemes become driver's identity?
Yeah, I don't know if you actually asked it that like
I
that
know.
the last
I
time,
couldn't find it
but
again.
I get the gist of the question. And when you look at somebody like Adam Haltrop, right, with his team, Big Sexy Motorsports, the bright pink, his personality fits that car. He is that. He is the identity of that. He is Big Sexy. He is that. I think, and I equate it to like F1 drivers, right? F1 drivers jump around teams like they change their underwear. And if a driver had to be that identity, but you knew 2 years down the road he wouldn't be that identity anymore, that would be hard. You'd be changing yourself all the time. And I think some of the bigger drivers, I don't think color schemes are their identities much. I think it's more branding of whatever company they're representing, and it doesn't go any farther than that. Because if a driver has all, like if Tanner Holmes has all his sponsored shirts, right?
Yeah.
Rico's got all just CarQuest stuff, but he signs a deal with DeWalt Tools, and he's now going to be DeWalt Tool guy driving a sprint car. He's got to throw out his entire wardrobe because he can't be seen wearing CarQuest stuff around. So
I can see that point of view. But the ones that their identity is wrapped around their cars because they own their car.
yeah,
They do the wrenching. They do the sponsorship.
they're everything
That's
about
everything.
their team.
That's their car.
Yeah.
And they have their crew, but they probably even picked the color scheme.
And for some of them, yeah, they would be part of it. Would be that part of their identity. So yeah, I think so. A good answer is yes and no. Just depends on which motorsport and the level at what they're operating at. So
one of the things that was at Deming the other day for the Dave Key Classic, one of the special awards at the end of the night was the
like a best looking car
best
award.
looking car voted on by drivers in the pit. They went around and asked different drivers, and it was the number 88 driven by Sawyer. And he talked about picking his own color scheme. So that's kind of where this all kind of came from.
Yeah.
Is, he designed his own car, and obviously he was probably pulling colors that are kind of his favorites.
What he likes.
Yeah. And so it kind of made us think about that.
I think it happens easier with kind of the younger drivers, right? I mean,
Or the local guys too.
yeah, but I think the bigger like national stuff, it's less grassroots, it's less, huggy feely, right? Anyway, so but it's a great question. I think it definitely, but we would love to hear people's answers. What do you think? Please message us. We would love to know. I would love to talk about this question with some of our topics, as well as like viewer questions. If you have questions for a driver or a race team or even us, I think it would make a great segment to kind of do, which would fall in the trackside chat kind of stuff. So, yeah.
And reviews. Would love to read a few reviews here and there in our episode. So you can send the reviews. You can put them on Spotify, on YouTube, DM us.
Are we doing okay on time?
Yep.
Okay. So that's kind of goes into this next thing I want to talk about. And I was super prepared, and I talked about it on the live I was on today.
Okay.
I was super prepared for a lot of hate when we got it, because that seems to be the world today, right? But I knew I am familiar with the dirt track racing community as far as the fan base goes, and there isn't a more accepting, inclusive fan base in the world. I've known that since I've been a racing fan and kind of watched fans interact and how things are. But I figured any artist that creates, right, and this is kind of a creative medium that we're putting out, I just thought people would try to knock it down, more than they have. We've gotten to 0 so far, right?
Yeah, I haven't been notified of anything.
I know Stacy kind of shields some of that from me because, some of that would bother me, and so she tries to keep some of the negative from me, so I'll still feel free to create and have bold ideas and all that. But just in general, how it's been received has been awesome. So
we appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a breath of fresh air because I was expecting kind of the other way to go. But it's kind of a testament to my surprise shout out and kind of serious moment before we wrap up the episode tonight. And that is the good that Skagit is doing at Deming Speedway. We were at the first annual Dave Key Classic, right? And it was Skagit Speedway night at Deming Speedway.
It was.
And Skagit Speedway, in their sponsorship, paid their drivers' pit passes, right, for the drivers, and a parent of everybody, all 108, registered that night to run. We had no idea until we observed the drivers' meeting that they were going through. And that was awesome. Kudos to Skagit Speedway for doing that. I thought that was a great sponsorship. Rudine Racing, Skagit Speedway, the Rudine family, they give quite a bit back to the racing world. And, one of the things they do, they demonstrated that night with what they did and helping the racers at Deming. And I love seeing that. I thought it was great. And so good for you, Skagit Speedway. That was pretty awesome. So, yeah.
No, that was cool.
Yeah. Anything else before we wrap up our episode?
Other than just to make sure that you are following all of our social media accounts, it is From the Stands PNW.
At From the Stands PNW.
Yep, we are on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube.
If you want our full episodes, those are on Spotify and YouTube. All our other content that we put through on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, blah, blah, frickin' blah, kind of that. So anyway, this episode went way smoother, transitional-wise, than the one we had to scrap, I do think. So I'm happy for that. I might make the edit a little bit smoother. We'll see. But I want to thank everybody for watching. And, yeah, we have Clay Cup coming up. When you see us at the track and we're wearing our gear and we're talking to, race teams, or we're just walking through the pits or whatever, please come up and say hi. Come, hang out, talk to us. We want to hear your story. I think anybody that is around racing, we want to hear kind of that lineage and what's been happening with anybody, whether you're a race car driver, a fan, a track official.
A parent.
It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So come up and say hi. You never know. We might feature you on an upcoming episode. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. We are From the Stands PNW, and we will see everybody at our next episode. Watching our latest creation, From the Stands PNW. So you're probably wondering, who's responsible for creating this podcast? Well, that would be Jimmy and Stacy. Who is the guy in front of the microphone all the time? Well, that would be Jimmy. Who's producing our episodes? Well, that will be Jimmy and Stacy. Who am I talking to on the social media side, and who's creating all that wonderful social media? Well, that would be Stacy. A special thanks goes out to Top Shelf Galaxy Productions, and of course, a special shout out to Ice by Stacy Media for all the great graphics and animations. So please like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when our latest hits the airwaves. You can find us across all social media platforms at From the Stands PNW. Once again, thank you so much for watching.